Star Wars Squadrons puts you in the cockpit of both Rebel and Imperial fighters for the most exciting space combat game yet in a galaxy far, far away. Before you fire up the hyperdrive and switch on your targeting computer, then switch off your targeting computer and use the Force instead, we thought you might like to learn a little more about the ships you'll be jockeying. So here are some things you might not know about the fighters you can fly in Star Wars Squadrons. The Y-Wing is the durable multi-role fighter-bomber for the Rebel Alliance. It can fend off Imperial TIE fighters with its turret-mounted ion cannons while taking out Star Destroyers with its powerful proton torpedoes. But the Y-Wing didn't always have its distinctive stripped-down look. The Y-Wings that attacked Death Stars 1 and 2 are based on a sleeker, Clone Wars-era fighter called the BTLB. By the time of the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One, the aging BTLBs had become so troublesome to maintain that Rebel mechanics stripped off the paneling to make repairs easier, leaving behind the skeletonized appearances first saw in A New Hope. Of course, the Rebellion didn't let that scrap metal go to waste. They slapped the armor plating onto their snowspeeders so they could stand up to the Empire's AT-AT walkers. Recycling is the foundation of any successful rebellion. The U-Wing is most famous as the ship Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, and the rest of Rogue One squad used on their mission to steal the Death Star plans from Scarif. The all-purpose ship is originally based on an unarmed civilian transport, the BT-45. The Rebel Alliance added two big, forward-facing laser cannons to punch through the hulls of Imperial cruisers, and the ability to open the long S-foils, turning the U-shape into more of a T to increase the coverage of the U-Wing's deflector shields. But it's the U-Wing's customizable interior and side-opening doors that make it a versatile workhorse. Depending on the mission, Rebels could put the U-Wing into service as a medevac, troop transport, or by mounting extra weapons like a door gunner, a close air support gunship. If Star Wars had ship commercials, it'd probably be something like, "The U-Wing, it's whatever you want it to be." With their octagonal cockpit window and large vertical wing panels, TIE fighters are synonymous with the evil Galactic Empire. But you might not realize that the iconic TIE fighter design is actually based on the starfighters flown by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. Their Eta II Actis-class interceptors featured a smaller version of the octagonal window in the front of the cockpit, and although the Jedi starships look sleek at first glance, during combat the S-4s would open up to a vertical position to help shed engine heat. After the heavily armed but slow ARC-170 fighters were chewed up at the Battle of Coruscant, the Empire realized they needed more fast and nimble fighters like the Actis class. By enlarging the Jedi starfighters' vertical wings into solar panels to reduce the onboard power supply, then removing the astromech droid and hyperdrive ring, the Empire ended up with a lighter, cheaper starfighter that could overwhelm the enemy with superior numbers. Just like Henry Ford and Darth Sidious said, you can get them in any color as long as it's black. The TIE Interceptor is the next evolution of the original TIE fighter. The design shares the low profile and bent wing shape of the TIE Advanced piloted by Darth Vader at the Battle of Yavin, but Vader's version proved too expensive to manufacture in the massive numbers needed to crush the rebellion. The TIE Interceptor also features a major improvement over the TIE Fighter and TIE Advanced. Cutouts in the wings to give the pilots the helpful ability to look right and left while dogfighting. That seems useful. Less wing surface also meant less weight, making the TIE Interceptor even faster and more maneuverable to match the Rebels' X-Wings and A-Wings. All four angled wingtips each houses an additional laser cannon, in addition to the two lasers under the basic TIE Fighter cockpit window, giving it triple the firepower to blast away Rebel scum. That's the story behind some of the crafts available to play in Star Wars Squadrons. There are more where that came from, however, so keep your eyes peeled and your targeting computer on for more fandom content. Sky Broadband Superfast is so reliable they guarantee your speed or money back.